Oh goody, I get the unfortunate honor of talking about SummerSlam 2011. If you guys know my thoughts on the year 2011 in the WWE, then brace yourselves, because the year 2011 sucked. And SummerSlam 2011 was the epitome of 2011 in the WWE. It sucked. SummerSlam 2011 was a pay-per-view filled with poor booking, with characters that should be in bigger spots, with matches that quite frankly did not deliver, with booking decisions that just didn't make any sense, with storylines that should go one way that actually went another way that didn't really work out for anybody involved. SummerSlam 2011 was just one big colossal waste of our time, as every pay-per-view usually is in the WWE. We kicked things off with the 6-man tag match. Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, and Rey Mysterio defeating R-Truth, The Miz, and Alberto Del Rio. So let me get this straight. Here's the awesome truth. R-Truth and The Miz, you clearly have big plans for them going forward. Here's Alberto Del Rio, the Money in the Bank winner, who's going to get actively involved later on in the night, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. And he's your Money in the Bank winner, and you would think, in theory, that the WWE would be doing everything they could to make this guy seem like a legit main event star. And, of course, you put them randomly together in the opening match of a Big Four pay-per-view, and you have them lose to three guys that the WWE clearly has no direction for whatsoever in Mysterio, Kofi, and John Morrison. Because that makes sense, right? Because three guys that you clearly have bigger and better plans for down the road need to job out to three guys that the WWE really doesn't care about on the opening match of a Big Four pay-per-view. Because that makes sense, right? Wrong. It doesn't. WWE is stupid. Then we get to Mark Henry versus Sheamus in the one match that I actually kind of liked. Unfortunately, it ended in a countout. But at least the WWE found a way to reestablish Mark Henry as a heel dominant monster, and in the meantime it also protected Sheamus, where he was defeated, but not too dominantly to a point where he can no longer recover. This match kind of was what it was. The Divas Championship match, Kelly and Beth Phoenix, again, kind of was what it was. We get to the last three matches on this show, and of course, I hear from everybody how great they were, because all three of them involved internet heroes in Daniel Bryan, Christian, and CM Punk. And while I'm fans of all three of them, have always been, will always be, I'm just going to once again say that not everything these guys do is gold. And in this case, Wade Barrett versus Daniel Bryan. Here's Daniel Bryan, the SmackDown Money in the Bank holder. And of course, WWE is doing everything they can to devalue him as the Money in the Bank winner. They're doing everything they can to make sure that Daniel Bryan seems as irrelevant as possible. And they want to make sure that Wade Barrett defeats Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. Because why would we have our Money in the Bank winner ever win on pay-per-view? Because, of course, that way when he cashes in, people are actually going to take him seriously, and all of a sudden the guy can win matches. Because that makes sense, right? No, it doesn't. Wade Barrett defeats Daniel Bryan in a match that just killed Daniel Bryan's momentum even more. And, of course, then he goes into TLC that year and wins the world title, and all of a sudden he's believable. But, of course, a lot of you are going to say the match was great because it involved Daniel Bryan, and that's not the case. Then we get to Randy Orton versus Christian for the World Heavyweight Championship. No-holds-barred match. You would think in a no-holds-barred match they can't possibly screw this up. And in theory, they didn't. The match itself definitely delivered. It was probably the best match of the night, unless some of you would probably say Punk and Cena, and there's not really going to be much of an argument for me. The only problem is with this is going into it, you have I really had no doubts that Orton wasn't going to win. Let me rephrase that. I really never thought going into it that Randy Orton was going to lose. Because at the end of the day, the Breakfast Club always wins. But here in 2011, of course, you had to do everything you possibly could to devalue Christian, to make him look like an idiot, and you have Randy Orton win here, winning the world title again, because of course he needed it, right? Right? Wrong. But whatever the case may be, this pay-per-view was all about the main event, and what a main event it was! So great of a main event that it was probably one of the poorest main events in the history of SummerSlam. I don't care how well it went in terms of match quality. The fact of the matter is, this match shouldn't have even happened. Because here's Money in the Bank. Here's Punk versus Cena. It's for the WWE Championship. Punk wins, win or lose, excuse me. He's going to leave WWE. And of course, the WWE decides in their genius ways to bring Punk back 8 days later. Yeah, surrendering all of his leverage, ruining all of his momentum, and it turns into this champion versus champion storyline because we need to have the belt on Cena, because we can't have the belt on anybody else but John Cena in 2011. So we get to this match, and of course the match was pretty good. Match quality was good. But it's not all about match quality. It's about the other things that go into it. It's about the build-up. It's about the aftermath. And the build-up to this was poor. Mainly because this match shouldn't have even happened. It should have been Cena versus Mysterio to main event SummerSlam and have Punk come back here. That could have been perfect. Instead, we have this match. We have Triple H as the special guest referee, so you immediately know something's going to happen at the end. And lo and behold, something happened at the end. Cena can never lose a match without some kind of spin at the end. Just so that way, here comes Punk. He's standing as the victor. Just so that way, here comes Kevin Nash for God knows what reason to powerbomb CM Punk. Just so that way, Alberto Del Rio can come out and cash in Money in the Bank, to win the WWE Championship. Because that makes sense, right? It doesn't. Again. Nothing on this pay-per-view made sense. Nothing on this pay-per-view was good. I don't care how great the matches were. It's about the build-up and it's about the aftermath. And it's about the storytelling that takes place during the match. And it's about the finish. And if the finish sucks, the match means nothing. Plain and simple. This finish, I don't know what the WWE was even thinking. Oh, actually, I do. It's that the Breakfast Club always wins. Because Cena loses, there's an excuse, which protects him, of course. Then there's Triple H who's involved, and of course, here comes Kevin Nash, and lo and behold, this sets up to CM Punk versus Triple H, which, of course, Triple H is going to win, so Triple H gets the benefit, Cena gets the benefit, and Punk pretty much gets nothing. Because again, the Breakfast Club always wins. At the end of the day, SummerSlam 2011 sucked. Was it SummerSlam 2010 bad? No. But it was one of the worst SummerSlams of all time. No question in my mind. Things should have been a lot better than what they were. And it's not all about what happens in the ring.